has our industry in the 5 years that you've struggled through it to get where you are, do you see meaningful change that makes you hopeful for the future?
I see it on the horizon. I think that the first 4 or so years, no. And it was very true. And it still needs a lot of work. I see it on the horizon, maybe not from the inside, but from the people who have been oppressed, just making it so and making it undeniable. And the way that I kind of say that, you say that I did break in, that is a charitable way of saying it. But think about it. I'm an outlier. And I have a way of thinking that most people don't have. And I have a way of doing things that most people don't have and shouldn't in most cases. This is insanity what I've done. It's insanity work, right? This shouldn't have to be this hard to get this far. So that's where I sit. So I did break in, but I tell you what, if we all had to do what I had to do, it wouldn't be worth it.
Not sustainable, not worth it. Sleeping
100%.
in the airport. So the lesson is, even though I threaded the needle, that doesn't mean that the problem is solved. Don't look at my success and say, mission accomplished, because the mission hasn't been accomplished, right? And we even see it with successful founders. Was it Angela Benton who did the tweet storm recently about she had a bad experience with Cowboy Ventures, and it was just that they
Oh, really? No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, she tweeted about it, and she was just like, I went to the first meeting, it was great. The second meeting, I guess it was Ted Wang was the person she was talking about, and he was kind of like, okay, next slide, I get it. It was kind of dismissive, right? So it wasn't the, we're not investing in this kind of thing. It was more like a little bit of a subtle, she felt, bias. I wouldn't necessarily say racism.
There's a bias, there's a prejudice. Those are all bad things too.
Yeah. And so it's like this bias, and she also respect, right? Which I think is like a very interesting word, because there's like outright racism, there's bias, and there's just like being respectful during a meeting with the founder and like using your brain. Like if you've dedicated the 30 minutes, like just give them the 20 minutes to talk and then ask a couple questions, you're good. You don't have to rush them through the deck and, she didn't wind up feeling very good about it. But that's good that you feel like we've made progress, but still a ways to go, and the change will be from outside.
Yeah, I think there's more work to do, 100% more work to do. We're just getting started. But if I didn't feel hopeful, I wouldn't be able to wake up every morning and work on this. There's just no way.
Yeah. And on that note, I'll just say, it's good to know you, Arlan. It's good to know your story and to watch you do it. And it's good to know you're waking up every day doing the hard work for the founders who need you, right?
Yeah.
And you have my respect and my support. You know that. And can't wait to share some deal flow as well.
Yes.
As you get going. Everybody, you hear my voice. Stop what you're doing. I want you to do 3 things. Number 1, you go to Backstage Crowd, you sign up. Credited or not. Number 2, you buy the goddamn book, you cheapskates. Buy the book right now. She couldn't go on book tour because of Corona, unfortunately. But when you do your book tour, let me know if you need an interviewer or something like that. I'm happy to help. Awesome. I have some tips for you too on that, on the book tour. I'll give it to you though privately. Okay. So that's number 2, buy the book. Number 3, sign up for the podcast where, sometimes on a Sunday night, she may drop something raw and entertaining. Your First Million is the name of the podcast. Arlan was here, and she's still here. I can tell you based on my experience, she ain't going anywhere. We'll see you next time on This Week in Startups. Bye-bye, everybody.